go live, and then when you jump into the recording, I just want you to tell me what this looks like, because we're using OBS for the recording's sake to put that on record. So we're using OBS, which is actually, honestly, so far, like 10% more fiddly to use, but way more robust actually in terms of.
You're a bit quiet.
I figured that would happen, so I'm gonna go on my microphone audio. Oh, actually, it's boosting speed. Oh no, it's not suppressed at all. Device default. So I'm a bit quiet, you say?
Yes. Game audio might just be a bit loud. You might just want to turn that down a bit.
Yeah, let me turn the audio for the game down. We'll be able to hear it, no problem, I'm sure. So,
I'd say it's mostly right now the music that's too.
Master volume's already at 30%, so I'm probably gonna just use my microphone.
I mean, it's mostly I think it's just the music that's a bit loud, and that's why it's making it sound a bit.
Yeah, I know, but I can pump up the volume of my microphone.
I can hear my own voice. Pain. Hate it.
I think if I put the volume up by about 5 decibels, like I'm in advanced audio properties, if I pump it up by 5, that should do it. Or 10. Let's see what happens when I put up 10. Testing. Yeah, that's a bit louder. Wait. Do you hear me better? Almbic?
Yes.
Okay, so that's good.
I was waiting for it to... There's a delay, Daniel.
Yes, I know. So that's good, right?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So now the game is streaming. You can see everything on my screen, correct?
Yep.
And my audio is a lot cleaner, so that's good.
Okay, stop streaming on Discord.
Yes, that will probably save me some bandwidth. So yeah, this is OBS is slightly more fiddly and looks a lot worse than Shadowplay, but overall it's a bit more intuitive. There's a lot more ways to tell that I have there's a lot more feedback for what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go to auto pause because this is I do like my game more turn-based than real time. Especially I don't really like these games not being turn-based. We'll play it as it is, I'm thinking, and then if it gets like seriously bad, we'll change it. You know.
I'd just set all. Set it so it's always pausing.
That sounds like a very bad idea. I'm gonna have it pause at combat start. That one makes sense to me. Low health also makes sense to me. I'm gonna go with the KOTOR
Party
style.
member finishes ability, yeah. Probably be a good one.
I'm actually gonna do it KOTOR style, so if that would be character combat start, character down.
Spell cast.
I don't think it pauses when spells are cast. You just queue them. So I'm gonna do low health cat to death and combat start. Oh, and enemy spotted. That's also a KOTOR one. So
KOTOR, more like Shmo.
Get it? KOTOR what? Voice frequency. How frequently companions and player characters will play their voice cues. That's fine. Scroll speed. That's fine so far. Area loop radius.
Set it to German for all the Siggies in the audience.
Deutschland. Yeah, no death, please. Everything else is fine.
Please, I don't want to die. No.
No death, please. 120
you
FPS
play the
cap.
fucking game.
Wow. Okay, new game. Yeah, normal difficulty sounds good. Wait, hard difficulty is suited for veteran players of isometric RPGs such as Pillars of Eternity looking for a challenge. Survival requires micromanagement, optimization of stats. I think I'll play normal.
Yeah, normal seems like a good difficulty.
Trial of Iron. If your party's defeated, the game ends, your save is lost, and you must start again. Not now.
That sounds like it'd be painful.
Path of the Damned difficulty. Enemy receives a bonus to most stats, have the most efficient AI, and will very frequently use abilities. Members take wounds during combat and when being knocked out. Difficulty level can only be chosen when starting a new game. Story mode difficulty. forgives mistakes, penalty to most stats, companion combat AI is enabled by default.
But where's the Mass Effect 3 difficulty
Oh
option
god, where
you
the game just
skip all the
skips dialogue.
choices?
What a stupid feature. I hate that they included that, and if you picked it, don't talk to me.
Do you want to play this game like a
Do you want to
shitty
not play the
third-person
fucking game?
It's literally like, hey, do you want to play the story-based third-person FPS shooter game as like just a normal mediocre
Like, just go play
third-person
Gears of
shooter?
War if that's what you want. I'm glad the Mass Effect combat is good, but I don't think anyone should stop playing it explicitly for the combat, frankly.
It's not very... It's good, but it's good for an RPG.
Yeah.
See, this is the thing, is that, like, this is why when, like, it's like, oh, the combat is good in this RPG. Make a game focused on the combat is like, the combat was good in that it wasn't actively bad.
Yeah, like, if I want good combat, like I'm playing game 4 combat, I'm gonna play, like, Halo Reach or something. Anyway, let's begin our adventure.
Yay!
And I'm really looking forward to this, because this was pretty much the only part of the game I've done before here, which is... And it's been a while, so I legit do not remember what's happened, but, like...
Look at all those heads.
I really love the opening to the game, like where you're picking your choices.
And it actually matters.
It does matter, yeah.
Like, it's not just like
For
Lamau,
over
you'll get like
400
a
years.
5%.
The armies of Kairos the Overlord have swept across the known world.
No.
All who stood against them
No,
fell
this is
before
good.
their
You
might.
work for them.
Even the Archons,
Epic.
women and men of immense power, were forced to kneel, chained to the Overlord's will. Now Kairos' final conquest has come to our corner of the world, and two of the Overlord's armies compete for the honor of taking our lands.
Yeah.
Woo!
The elite disfavored,
Go
and the teeming horde of the Scarlet Chorus.
Scarlet Chorus is a great name for a horde army.
The voices of Nerat,
Yes.
Spymaster and Archon of Secrets, guides the fierce and undisciplined masses of the Scarlet Chorus.
That dude
With each
has a
battle,
floating head and
the
he's made of
Scarlet Chorus
fire.
grows
Oh shit, I
stronger
didn't actually notice that.
as the
I thought that was like
defeated
his
are given
bed.
simple choice.
No, he's just
Serve
no. He has a floating
or
head
die.
and he's made of fire.
Graven Ash, Archon of War and the Overlord's most loyal general, leads the disfavored.
That dude
They're
just
small
has a
in
beard.
number. Kairos' ironclad legion
Never
has
met
never
true
met
defeat.
true defeat in open
Gee, I
battle.
wonder which army I'm gonna favor.
Watching over the two generals is Tunon, the
Keep in
adjudicator,
mind,
Archon of
they're
Justice,
also racist.
eldest of Kairos' minions.
Oh, it really
I'm
is
already
the
sold on
army
them,
trio.
Alan, but you don't have to.
Newly conquered lands.
Look, Almabek,
Aided
I
by
already
the
said
fate
I know who I'm
hunters,
gonna side
Judges
with.
and executioners.
I'm already
of the
sold. You don't
Overlord's
have
laws.
to keep me going at the
You
cashier.
were among the
Check out.
youngest of the court of Fatebinders
Oh.
when Kairos' armies came to our lands. How could we have known that the fate of thousands
Woo, fate
would
binding,
rest in
yeah.
your hands?
Oh boy, character time. Damn. Chungus. Okay.
Damn, that dude is thick.
It's a little too thick for my taste. This actually looks a bit more like me, tall, quite lean.
Well, one of those things is accurate.
Oh yeah, that's true. I don't like this one, he looks a bit too stumpy for me.
Yeah,
Definitely
I don't
not
like
the big
middle
one.
guy. Middle guy looks like a manlet.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with this guy. No skin slider, which means getting my skin color in particular is always difficult, because, you know, obviously this is Asian, white,
You've
European,
got
white.
Asian, not white, not white, not white. and
Southeast
not white.
Asian or Indian or Indonesian, and then, well, African.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is this game is already terrible.
Yeah, it didn't represent me specifically. No, in the Northern Empire where you were born, men enjoy equal protections under the laws of the Overlord Kairos. In the southern lands of the Tiers, only men may own or captain ships, but real estate is restricted to women. Men may lease, but durable ownership of the land is in Tiers. It always passes to the eldest or interesting, so there's even gender matters. That's interesting.
You see, no, you're from the Northern Empire where everyone is cool. These
Most-
fucking backwards people have like gendered land ownership.
Yeah, that's
Cringe, glad we're
terrible.
taking it over.
Most sons enter the father's profession by the mid-teens. Those without a profession or family lands to work could find purpose by pledging service to one of the Overlord's mighty Archons. Criminals, derelicts, and others are often conscripted into the armies of the Archons. If a child cannot forge his own skein, he will certainly find one in battle.
Yay! Child soldiers!
Let's start with faces. You know what my face looks like. So,
Yeah.
not that one, obviously.
I like how it's a delay, so I can't tell what you're actually looking at.
Oh yeah, shit, that's gonna be long. Well, while you're doing that, I'm gonna go find a suitable picture. Well, these are women's pictures, so it's definitely not gonna work.
That's a lady. I am not that. I am a Daniel.
Nah, not perfect, I wish. See, this is why I always like whenever I have like one of these portraits, I always just pick one that's got like a full face mask on.
Yeah, because it's like it could be anyone under there.
Could be anyone. I'm gonna go with this one. I like it. I like the cut of his jib. Now, which face? I'm gonna make it, and then you can say what you think. Let me change the hair first, because this hair is not me.
I don't know. I'm terrible with faces, Daniel.
You've seen my face.
Yes, I'm still terrible with faces.
That's fair.
I don't. My brain don't process that correctly.
Oh, no
It's like,
ponytail. Mullets.
this is a human.
I have fairly orderly hair.
Yes, Chad.
So I'll probably go with this one. There's definitely a stylized to it, so that's black hair. Stubble? Stubble's probably already what I've got on, basically.
Can I pick your voice?
Hold on a second. You know, it's gonna be real easy to play Tywin Lannister in this game, going with these faces. Don't think that's my face. This one... a little bit smaller, yeah. Oh, tattoos? I would never have tattoos. So,
Okay, pick a voice.
Got it. On the lookout.
oh, that's very quiet. Hold on.
Will do. Have a look here. Trouble is afoot. Flo! Yeah, I'll just hold on to this. Moving cautiously. We must rest soon.
Just be
Right.
aggressive.
Found something. Trouble is afoot.
Aggressive sounds right for me.
We must rest soon.
You must rest soon. How did you join Chaos Army, soldier? Let's be honest.
You were a soldier and you were like, I love soldiering.
We've always
and
said
I'm-
this. If there's any kind of alternate future where there was only war, it's not hard to guess where I'm gonna be. Unable to settle the year's accounts with grain, your parents offered you as a tithe to the Overlord instead. Seeing your first battles as a child, you've known all your life how to fight, how to stay calm at the sight of blood and disembowelment,
child soldier, yeah.
and how to rely on your fellow warriors. Deemed smarter than the average killer, you were groomed for command and given an education in letter and numbers. Rumors of war, it seemed recruitment into the disfavored legion would be the obvious match for your skills, but the Archon of Justice is known to say that good iron is not used for swords, and good minds are not used for soldiers. Ha! Ouch. Claimed by Tunon, you were instead drafted into the Court of Fatebinders, where your martial skills were put to use in the enforcement of Kairos laws. Interesting. So that might come up as well, having my background. So, soldier. Sword and shield. Javelin.
Use a polearm, you coward.
I would probably use a polearm. Polearm's always solid. Building a javelin is a good compromise between melee and range. Stone weapons deal more damage than bows, but cannot attack from as far away. They also have the benefit of being able to switch between range and melee attack depending on distance. So probably sword and shield or javelin.
Yeah. can always do great sword.
Great sword's not me.
Great. Yeah, you're right. It's too large for your.
I would never use spells. Oh, that's a cool outfit.
I would never
He looks
shoot
badass.
fire out of. I would never shoot fire out of my hands. That's cringe. I do all my war crimes.
Unarmed
the
fighting is one of the more
old-fashioned way.
challenging combat styles, but since we love doing it in KOTOR 2, here it is again. Damage is generally lower, but it's
Yeah. Punch people.
Punching people is so overpowered in KOTOR 2.
Just punch people, Daniel.
Like, you remember when you get Baldur and he's got that, shield fist? He just, like, you don't have to give him a weapon, you can just pummel everyone to death. I'm gonna go with
Yeah.
Javelin. I think Javelin would be fun for me.
No, you should punch people.
Heart shot.
Nice.
Delay your aim to focus on hitting the target's heart, gain additional accuracy with that attack, and leave the target bleeding. Target your enemy's feet with a ranged attack, crippling them. So would I cripple or bleed them? I'd probably cripple them.
Really? That seems much more dickish than bleeding them out.
Okay, fine. Whatever's more deadly in this scenario, I suppose.
I don't know. Which of these is a bigger war crime?
I don't do war crimes. Fuck you.
I know. I'm working backwards. Like, then don't pick that one.
Alright. You also receive training in this combat style. Oh, I can add more to my javelin, couldn't I? I could get my second one, so I can double down on it, which is nice. Oh, spear and shield, perfect. So now I have all the mighty long arms of the law. Actually, wait, let me go back. Can I get spears my first? No? Okay.
I don't believe so.
That's a shame. Maybe a war mace for close? No, that's double-handed.
I would go with spear.
I can double down on my javelin, actually. And then I'll get even more skill in it. But I could also get spear. That's probably got a lot of,
I don't know. I think doubling down might be the correct choice.
Yeah, I'm gonna double down on my javelin.
Since you don't use magic, because you're a fucking
I don't
idiot.
give a shit about magic. Oh, cool. I can customize my banner. I bet that's gonna be interesting and come up a lot.
They're gonna be like,
That
wow,
sounded
you got a
sarcastic, but it really isn't.
Well, you've got a cringe banner, bro. That's a real cringe
I haven't
banner.
made it yet. Damn. I actually kind of like the way it starts. Like, I know that's boring, but I actually quite like the starting colors. I'm always a big fan of a stag, so if they have a stag, I'll pick the stag. Stannis Baratheon, Stannis Baratheon.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna get a bowl of ice cream.
Looks good. That's more like a disfavored one, though. Let's see, we've got swords, we've got anvils, we've got archaic symbols. I like something that's a little more concrete. Oh, that's nice. That looks like a Kirkwall eagle from Dragon's Age, so might pick. Yeah, I'm gonna pick the eagle. Gold is good. Black background. It's a little too Nazi for me. Red and gold. How about red and blue? No, I don't like that. I can have a black. How about red and black? That looks good. Could invert the colors. So that's how it starts normally. Black trim. Purple, dark reddish pants. So let's go. Dark red trim, black pants. Yeah, let's just invert the colors. Eagle banner. Like red always. Name. What is the name I usually use one of two names. Usually when I play myself, obviously you obviously use my real name, but because we're streaming on Twitch, I probably not gonna use my real name. I mean, we'll think about it in the future, but for now, I'm gonna use one of my pseudonyms, which is a fake name you use when publishing work when you don't want the popularity. I usually go with something Hayes. I always have a fun little game I do with RPGs where it's like the first character make is always called Hayes or Kadar. Kadar is usually... Janos Kadar is... if you get that reference... well done for knowing your history. That's usually my fantasy one, and my modern one is usually something haze, like just a collective family. But let's compromise. Let's use my real first name. Who cares? Daniel Kadar. Alright, so... Okay, but it's already highlighted the skills I'm going to need. Let's see. Might. Physical strength of a character, no shit. Leads to more powerful attacks and vulnerabilities, as well as increasing the endurance, defense. So 10. So this is no penalties to anything. If I decrease... Okay. So they go up in increments of 3. Okay, well Mike goes up. How often cats can use their abilities as well as in combat? Okay, so cooldowns. Finesse is used to determine accuracy of attacks and spells, as well as increasing more normal chance of reducing hit. Okay. So finesse is probably for a more ranged character. Vitality determines a character's physical health, and the strength of personality increases the will of the interesting strength of personality, so I probably will want a bit of extra health. I usually like to play tanky, and I'm going to have a shield, so it's not a bad idea. Let's get vitality up and my... wits. Mental acuity, ability to serve environment, pick up on clues, used to increase spell defense as well as increase the magic defense. Resolve, physical mental challenges, attribute for to use to derive endurance while magic defenses. Duration. Increases the duration of afflictions. I could take some weaknesses. Right now I'm thinking 14 to might, 12 to quickness, 12 to vitality. These three will probably be my two primaries, one secondary. So what if I did this? Don't actually care too much about ability cooldown. I wouldn't mind precise attacks, and I wouldn't mind being slightly tankier, so let's do that. I'll keep quickness where it is, and I'll reduce wits and resolve. For my first character, I might keep it well split. Let's see, 14, 12, 12. It's not a bad way to do it. 12 attack and ability strength, 12 endurance defense. 4 plus 4 accuracy, 2% armor deflection. So I've got good armor, good bonus health, good defense. Let's see, this is just for magic defense. I'm going to reduce my wits by 1. But then again, I'm making a character that's like me, so I think this is how I'll keep it. Pretty average. And I'm trying to make a character, obviously, with the purposes of being good at the stuff I'm at. So in this world where I'm honing my abilities to be a warrior, these are the skills I would take. I think it will actually take the hits to my wits. We'll see how that plays out for me. I mean, I don't obviously want to miss out on stuff, but obviously this is a good part of committing to a build. So let's say 14, and then we can increase vitality to 14. Oh, interesting. That's as low as it can go, huh? Tell you what, keep everything at 10, and we'll just kind of see how this goes. I think that's fine. A little bit cowardly, but we'll see. Athletics, law, and subterfuge. Not gonna do that much. Execute complicated moves in combat. Dialogue to determine your ability to intimidate or physically overpower someone. Okay. Lore, history of the world. Past people, my intelligence. Let's see. Bow, dual wield, magic staff, two-handed weapons. All into one-handed. So we got 20, so let's put 5. So that, let's put, and then let's spread even. There we go. quite a warrior, my character. Effectiveness using weapons wielded in a single hand, sword, daggers, daxes, and maces. Strongly recommended because skill in the javelin. Range bows. Weapons in both hands, not doing that. Combat, no. Yeah, this looks really sensible. 5 into that, and then 5 across my 3 core skills. Selecting quick start option will bypass the conquest phase of character creation. You select from a list of available templates for how your character is involved in Kara's conquest of the tiers. This will affect the starting state of the game. Select the conquest option will allow you to play through Kara's conquest of the tiers, choosing how your character was involved in the invasion. Gives you the most control of the starting state of the game and how other factions react to your character. That is indeed what I want. We're going to wait about 5 minutes for Armbic to come back, and if not, we'll start as we need to. Just going to double check chat, and then we'll be back. Okay, nothing in chat right now. I don't really know what I was expecting. I'm not exactly a very super popular streamer. Check some messages. Right. I have been looking forward to playing this game, although I have actually done the conquests phase before, like this whole little making character prelude. I did make the conquest and started the game just to see what it's like. I think I got into 1 combat. However, I played it there. I think this was just before I was leaving for the US, so I was like, that's pretty cool. I'll pick it up later. Then, of course, Outer Worlds came out. I was playing through that, and by the end I was trying to rush through that, frankly, because I wasn't enjoying it all that much, unfortunately. Then I really wanted to finish off New Vegas because that was the game that was on the backlog. I didn't really want to leave that undone because I do have a couple Let's Plays, I believe. Well, one Let's Play in particular, I think KOTOR is still on the back burner. Probably make a new one, start that, delete the old video. Or keep it up, who knows. Now that New Vegas is done, it's probably the first full designed Let's Play. Like, you know, I made all the thumbnails for it. I made try and make sure it's high quality. Make sure they weren't too long, like 2 hours a piece video time-wise. It's probably something I'm also going to explore doing with this one, because some of those New Vegas parts were like, you know, 4 or 6 hours, which could be kind of a turn-off. I'll try and make these closer to, you know, 1 hour, 2 hour videos, highlight the videos. That will keep them up on Twitch, gets a little bit more viewership that way. That should prove to be prudent. So, obviously, if you've enjoyed watching me play New Vegas, I hope Tyranny is of a similar ilk of game. Or you might pick up that I like RPGs a lot. This is the kind of games I like to play. We're going to wait a little longer till Ambic's back, and then we'll move on. So yeah, I do kind of think, part of me does actually want to go back into my stats. Not the stats, maybe, the attributes. Did that save my... Okay, good, it did. But yeah, I do want to go into my attributes and think, maybe I put down wits. Like, I'm trying to play myself to an extent. So obviously I'm holding my skills towards stuff, but I'm not exactly stupid or quick to break down and fall apart, so I don't really want to reduce wits and resolve in that respect. I'm not the most quick person, however. Finesseful, maybe. Might and vitality, as regards to the game, this is the most optimal thing I can get without compromising too much. Fortunately, the weapon skills was a lot easier because didn't have to do much of a spread. I would not be much of a subterfuge person. In fact, if I could reduce that stat, I probably would. Having stats that are around 40, I don't know what the cap is for this game. Similar with the attribute, I'm not sure if it's like, I don't know, 20. I mean, I only got 8 points available at the start, so it's very possible. Let's hypothetically, let's take this all the way down. Okay, 18 is about as high as I can get it in character creation. It's possible it goes higher than 18, but so yeah, 14 is pretty close. No significant negatives. 12% attack and ability strength, endurance, defense, 4% accuracy, 2 armor deflection. I might do repeat playthroughs of this as well. Obviously, this game is very replayable, and it's not exactly. There is actually, flaws to the idea of it as a. Excuse me. Like, conceptually, this is a game that's got a lot of replay. Like, you can do it again and again. You can try different playthroughs, see what's in your comfort zone first, then what's not. Try different things, mix it up. Play a character that's slightly more brutal, maybe in the same faction, or maybe completely brutal but in the opposite faction, or very sympathetic to slaves but he's in the Scarlet Chorus, or in the Disfavored, yada yada. I'm looking forward to all the variation is, and there's a good chance, especially if the game is on the shorter side, that I'll be more likely to replay it. And that's another thing as well, is I feel this game is nowhere near as long as something like New Vegas, which is actually a draw of this game for me, because I'll actually have something where I can sit down, have a good, honest look at the game, go through it, see all the choices, replay it again, see if there are any differences. And a short game also, in my head, at least I'm hoping, is that I'll get a lot of variation in the game, because it's a shorter game, so you can redo and vary more parts of the game without having to worry about, what's going to happen in the next 3 hours if I say this thing before. Like, the further a game goes on, the more these choices are limited or need more time to craft and how they can be varied. So a shorter game with more replayability is exactly what I'm looking for. And beyond that, it means there's a very good chance I will be replaying this as a Let's Play again. And I think we've given Almbic more than enough time to return, so I'm going to do the conquest parts. I'm just going to send one message asking him to join quickly. Come back soon, I want to do the conquest part with you. Well, we can talk a little bit longer in chat. Another advantage is, or at least I hope so, is that when I alt tab, you'll be left on the screen. I can still talk to you and do other things, which is something it has over, over something like, say, Shadow Play. OBS took me no time at all to set up. There was no sign-in nonsense. My Twitch is active. Excuse me. I'm actually one of the only 3 people, interesting, I'm only the only 3 people actually streaming Tyranny at the moment, so that'll be fun. And you're back. Perfect.
Yes, I'm back.
So I did some digging around. I'm one of the 3 people streaming Tyranny at the moment. That's interesting.
I know, I heard.
My banner is done. What do you think? Is it too
Banner,
Nazi?
more like... No, it's fine.
It's a red eagle on a black banner. It's not too Nazi.
Banner, more like Danner.
I use my real first name and a fake second name. That's fine. What do you think of my spread? Might 14, Finesse 12, Quickness 10, Vitality 12.
I think you're stupid.
Well, we expected that. I'm going to go into the conquest part, because I've been eager. Wanted to get into it. Okay, here we go. Looking forward to this part.
All the world has fallen to Kairos. And now the Overlord's eye is on the Tears, our home. The last corner of the world free of Kairos' reign. 2 armies, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, march south from the Northern Empire, the last realm to fall to Kairos a century prior.
Right.
In the early days of 428, Kairos' armies arrive at the Gates of Judgment, the mountainous border that we Tearsmen so long believed unassailable. Unable to agree on a unified plan of defense, the various leaders of the Tears
Well, that didn't work
sit
out
and
for
wait
you.
for each other to deal with the conquerors, until it's too late.
It's easy to divide and conquer if you don't even have to try dividing them, you know?
We gotta divide and conquer. They're already divided.
Oh, that's
Damn,
easy.
we're good.
I'm so good. Here we go. During the conquest, you will decide the character's action during Kairos' invasion of the Tears, shaping the world through which you will adventure over the course of the game. Each choice you make affects your character and how major factions of the Tears will respond to you. Your decisions matter. Choose wisely.
No.
I hope they'd matter.
I can't. No, I don't want to
428
choose wisely.
TR, year 1 of Kairos' conquest. The Bastard City. Stood on the northern border of Kairos' empire and the Tears, built upon a natural harbor at the crossroads between realms, the city was a nexus of commerce. To the Tears, it was the center of all wealth. To the northerner, it was little more than a backwater trading post. Symbolic nature as a gateway to the continent made it a natural first target in Kairos' military conquest. Circumstances were ideal for you to prove your worth as a soldier in Kairos' armies. Taking the city would send a message to the rest of the Tears. Kairos' will is insurmountable. I like how there's a keyword here, so you can.
Yeah, you can mouse over it.
Little instantaneous glossary, probably a response to Pillars of Eternity. Although I think that one actually does have a glossary too, but it's a little less robust. Kairos can issue edicts, magical proclamations that level cities, spread pox, sunder the lands, or change the course of seasons. God damn. Infiltrate the Tears. Both armies send their forces to prepare this way. Gates of Judgment. The first major engagement of the war, Kairos' armies cross the mountain and establish a foothold. Now see, when it comes to military affairs, I don't mind being sneaky. But I think these are two different choices I can do, so let's see how the preparation goes. History would remember the Gates of Judgment as the first battle of the conquest, but the real combat unfolded with advanced units of both armies preparing for the coming war. The Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus each had plans to infiltrate the capital city. Which harmony did you join? Oh, shit. I think that's the Disfavored in the lower screen, kidnapping a small boy. Well,
no, that's the no, that's the Scarlet Chorus kidnapping the small boy.
No, the Scarlet Chorus are the purple.
No, the Scarlet Chorus
the
is red.
Disfavored, the Disfavored.
Yeah, no,
I get their names mixed up.
the Disfavored are blue and the Scarlet Chorus is red because they're the Scarlet Chorus.
Yeah, no, I just got the words mixed up. I know red and blue, you fucking asshole.
You can learn more about this topic by the hit series Red vs.
God damn it. You lent your skills to the elite Disfavored scouts to capture border garrison, Graven Ash. Insisted that an early victory in the offensive would boost the morale of his troops and diminish the haughty overconfidence of the Southerners. Graven Ash is the last of the great northern generals to stand against the Overlord in ages past. Archon Graven Ash now serves Kairos as supreme commander of the Disfavored Legion. Ouch. Charged with conquering the Tears, Graven Ash shares a powerful bond with the soldiers under his command and regards them as family. The death of a soldier at enemy hands represents a grievous loss to the old general, who bears the burden of his love with mournful stoicism. Interesting. Disciplined and battle-hardened, the Disfavored are an elite legion in Kairos' army. They spearheaded the conquest of the Younger Realms, finding themselves always outnumbered but never outclassed. Led by Graven Ash, whom they follow with obsessive devotion, they are committed to imposing their interpretation of order upon the relative lawlessness of the Tears. The Legion only tolerates Northerners in their ranks, priding themselves on their high standards and cultural purity. Interesting.
They're racist.
They are racist.
Only North.
And they will be joining them.
Here.
Oathbound scouts identified a modest border defense and collaborated on an organized attack that would leave the enemy under-coordinated and cut off from the aid. You oversaw the preparations and offered your opinions on the strategy. When the clashing of swords and spears fell to silence, followed by the cheering of Disfavored scouts, you were the least surprised. Bang.
You were like, I'm so good.
Oh, interesting. So I'm also picking the options here. Interesting. So I do actually have to put. So inside agents or containing the fire. Oh, interesting. So I even have to choose where I've been. So there were multiple things happening at the same time, and I can only really lend my assistance to one.
You can't have just been in everything.
That's actually really good, and I like that. Let's see.
I did everything.
So I can either find an ally within the city, or I can be sent to handle fire mages and put them down. What do you think I would most lend my thing to? Is because I am pretty good with my humans.
I feel like.
But I'm also good with my counter-ops.
I feel like that you would go with the mages because you're not sneaky enough.
I think I would probably handle the mages. Your fiercest opponents in the Bastard City were the mages of the School of Wild Wrath. Too barbaric to use their powers responsibly, the unbridled practitioners needed to be stopped. How did you trick the hot-tempered mages into their own undoing? tricked the Guild elders into meeting with the voices of the Rat, Archon of Secrets. The Archon was notorious for his cruel, mysterious interrogation techniques. Nah. Led them into an ambush where a legion of disfavored waited to spring the trap. The soldiers were hungry for a chance to subdue the Archon. Yeah, ambush them with soldiers. That sounds like me.
Taka. Risking soldiers'
The mages
lives.
took the more dangerous research outside of the bastard city walls. You sent a scout to sabotage a delicate ritual, which caused an explosion that injured or killed many senior practitioners. Enraged, the survivors expended themselves on a chase through the surrounding hills, where the disfavored surrounded them and brought them to heel. The few that survived the attack were conscripted into the Scarlet Corps. It actually tells me Enraged as an ability. Here are the stat effects of enraging them, by the way.
Here were their stats when you enraged them.
Based. Your tactic of infiltration placed you in the bastard city ahead of the main army. Your work softened the city's defenses for the arrival of Kairos' main legion, but you wanted a decisive gesture that would give your allies a meaningful advantage. How did you assist in the fall of the bastard city? Ooh, interesting.
I called it cringe.
You challenged the city's commander to an honorable fight to the death. The disfavored wished to spare soldiers' lives for the battles ahead and civilian lives for the occupation. That does sound like something I might try.
What are your other two options?
Incite a riot. Spreading the word of Kairos, you converted the poor and disaffected into an army of Scarlet Corps. Once the dust settled, the army wished to bolster their troops with these sleeper cells. I would also not mind trying that. Keeping to the shadows, you eliminated the leaders of the bastard city one by one. That's not me.
Yeah, you wouldn't do that.
I think dueling the marshal seems the most like me because I probably would be more concerned with protecting the people around me. And the easiest way to do that is to duel the city commander and not have to, you know.
I mean, but if you use the people, the poor themselves, then that means that you didn't use your own soldiers, so...
That's true.
So I feel like there's an argument for either of them.
There's an argument for either. I'm gonna say duel the city marshal.
That's because that you want to fight men. Medal of Honor war fighter.
I want to Medal of Honor war fight the city marshal. An old but experienced fighter, and his value to the guard was an accepted truth. After making guarantees for your protection, you met him in the square of the market district and fought in the view of tense onlookers. The battle drew on longer than you thought possible. Good fortune struck when an ornamental chain hanging from the marshal's armor snagged the quillon of his sword. Not familiar with that part of the sword. Granting you the opportunity to end his life swiftly. Chaos' forces celebrated your return to camp and the dissolution of enemy morale. All agreed that the bastard city was poised to crumble. And then it crumbled.
And then it did.
God, I love this conquest screen. It's so much fun.
Look at it. It's
Oh yeah, and then I have to choose which campaign I'm a part of next.
So did you help at the Leviathan's Crossing or the Apex?
Levian's Crossing or Apex. The bastard city settled into a new state of normalcy with every tower displaying Chaos' banner. Your name was whispered alongside rumors of a decorated career to come. Armies divided into two fronts and migrated south. Tunon sent word that you were to join the next frontier of Chaos' conquest, either as judge and overseer of the settlement of Lethian's Crossing, or as war advisor with the armies advancing into the realm of Apex. So war advisor or manager?
Governor or advisor?
I think advisor I'd prefer to do.
Of course you would. You're all about those war crimes.
The troops in the mountain realm of Apex stood idle in the safety of their valley, biding their time as their neighbors in the bastard tier fell. What a bunch of heroes. In the second year of war, a joint force of the disfavored and Scarlet Corps crossed over the mountains to take control of the tier's central valley. I really like the amount of choice you get just in this part alone.
Yeah.
Like, not only do you have to make choices, you have to make choices within choices. Like, you have to say, this is where I was, and this is how I handled this situation, and this is the other thing that was happening or not happening because I wasn't there. The mountain nation of Apex, ruled for legends, ruled for generations by the Queen of House Fendrian, stood at the heart of the tiers. No army could bypass the landlocked realm without leaving their flank exposed to attack. Oh, so it's the Veil. By the second year of the war, the disfavored and Scarlet Corps had pushed deep into the tiers. Elements of both armies were dispatched to combat Apex. Tunon assigned you to accompany them, tasked with bringing Kairos' law to the territory, as well as keeping an eye on both armies. Okay, so let's see. The army might be, you know, rumbling
French.
between each other. A new school of mages presents problems and opportunities, or the Archon of Stone Assault was perhaps too successful. Interesting. A school of water mages loyal to the Tearsmen posed a substantial threat. The disfavored was to annihilate the school, whilst the Scarlet Chorus insisted on capturing the mages wishing to learn of their craft. Okay, so the Scarlet Chorus are more open to assimilation.
Scarlet Chorus are about assimilating and utilizing the enemy, while the disfavored are about focusing on preserving and improving their own strength and relic. Basically, we're already cool, badass warrior people.
Why do we need
don't
these idiots?
Well, the Scarlet Chorus is like, num num num, I love more people.
Yum yum yum. Into the horde you go. The Battle of Edgering passed. The disfavored sent the most destructive ally to crush Edgering Fort, Cairn. Archon of Stone buried the stronghold under an avalanche, triggering them from the surrounding mountains. The Scarlet Chorus were promised captured enemies for recruitment, yet none survived the onslaught. The Chorus demanded compensation. Both things I wouldn't mind being a part of. As tall as the hills, Cairn is the Archon of Stone, master of earth and soil. Reluctant leader of the Earthshaker Guild, less their teacher and more their object of study. The massive Archon is sworn to Graven Ash and provides arcane support to the disfavored. Oh damn, he is actually as tall as a hill, apparently.
He is literally, you'll see later, he is literally a giant.
I thought it was just
Not
like, he's like 9 feet tall, my man.
He's not like a tall man. His head is larger than a 9-foot tall man.
Congratulated the disfavored for taking the pass without risking lives of casters' loyal servants. Stage of the campaign, it was vital to use any advantage. You upheld the Scarlet Chorus's claim and demanded that the youngest disfavored scouts join the chorus to settle the debt. Because I would obviously favor the disfavored, but would I try and be more diplomatic here? It's possible.
Is this the one you're going with, or are you going with the...
I can either handle the mages. Let's see what I can do with the mages. All mages had a chance to surrender before the war, and trying to capture the enemy would lead to needless losses. See, that's just going to end up, because the other one is ordering the mage elders taking a life on interrogate. I don't think I want to do this one, because I handled the mages last time, so I want to try the new one.
These are different mages, Daniel.
I know, but it's a more of a similar... I know it's not the exact same problem, but...
You also handled battles in the last one,
Oh,
Daniel.
yeah, but that's also different. You congratulated the disfavored for taking the pass without risking lives of Kairos as well, so...
I mean, they were promised...
They were promised. You have to uphold your honor.
You can't just be like, Lamau, neener, neener, neener.
Yeah. They were promised it, and they will receive... In the aftermath of your ruling, the main forces of both armies turned out to witness disfavored scouts conscripted the Scarlet Chorus, a rarity of which few could recall any precedent. Archon Graven Ash, though vocal in his early opposition, held his dignity and shed only silent tears for his lost soldiers. Okay, he's not going to be happy with me. The chorus mob swarmed around the new recruits, hoisting them up and tearing at their disfavored raiments as they began a hazing ritual that lasted throughout the night. Interesting.
I guess they truly were.
Oh, okay, so this is all about army disunity. Scarlet Chorus
Yes, the
soldiers
armies
were
don't
found
like
wearing
each other.
disfavored armor. Our uniform! Marriage bed armistice. A local custom of the Tears created strife between Kairos' armies. What's this about? The enemy readied for peacetime festival at Kairos' forces armed for battle. The disfavored paid no mind to the southern custom and planned to attack the Vendrian forces during the annual celebration. I don't give a shit! Oh god! The Scarlet Chorus insisted on a day of
Time
non-violence.
to commit a war crime.
The Scarlet Chorus insisted on a day of non-violence. As former Tearsmen, many could grasp the decency of a temporary reprieve.
That feeling when
Idiot,
you're
you've
doing
left
like
yourself open to attack, dumb culture.
That's a war crime.
Scarlet Chorus soldiers were seen wearing disfavored gear, supposedly taken from those who fell in battle. The disfavored were outraged, citing tradition that their armor passed only to next of kin within the army. In a debate of tradition versus practicality, you had to rule in favor of one over the other. I think I would handle the customs. I think.
Yeah, that seems more. I don't know. That seems more like the kind of thing you would be. That seems more like, do we commit a war crime or not?
It's not a war crime.
I mean,
It's attacking the enemy while they're in rest.
so it's I don't know. That
This
feels
isn't
like
this isn't Geneva Convention Well,
that feels like if you had like in that one time when World War II where there was like an
oh, the
armistice
Christmas.
for that
Wait, no,
yeah,
World War One.
it'd be
That's
like
World War One.
World War One. I meant World War One. It'd be like if you attacked during that. Like
Well,
you're just,
that did
it's not a war
happen, but
crime, but you're a massive dick for doing it.
you're right.
You should do it anyway, though. Well, be epic prank.
I might be more sympathetic to the Scarlet Chorus here. Let's see what the offers are. You offer the locals their last fee, sending a few Scarlet Chorus agencies in the mix in good faith. The army hoped the Jester would foster an air partnership for the occupation to come. Alternatively, you sided with the disfavored commander and paid no homage to this bygone custom, interrupting a cultural pastime and slaughtering your way through non-combatant. No, I would not do that.
No, now, okay, no, I was right originally. It is
Yeah,
a war crime.
that is a war crime.
Time
When
to
I said it,
slaughter
and
my
I thought this was like an army that was encamped to celebrate, because I'm like, I don't necessarily have a problem attacking them while they're
Time to
encamped.
slaughter through the non-combatants specifically.
I think I would offer the locals their last feast.
Yeah, that seems like... Damn, the disfavored have no chill at all.
I'll fight practically when it's needed,
Yeah,
but this is not needed.
Well, look, non-combatants can become combatants if you don't kill them all.
The festivities went off as expected, and the Scarlet Chorus recruits you sent to enjoy themselves reported little animosity among the revelers. The disfavored protested your ruling as too merciful and waged all-night training drills to combat the sound of celebration with an anthem of sword and shield. Well, to each their own. You sent forces to attack the following day, a battle from which the disfavored recused themselves out of protest. Don't be
Time
bitches.
to sit in the corner.
Yeah, sit in the corner and cry. How about I have you whipped for disobeying orders, you fucking...
Why don't you do war crimes? Fuck you.
See, this is also a medieval army, so I will not... If you don't go to battle, there's a flogging coming your way.
Yeah, but Graven Ash was like, I don't want to. Cringe, base.
Fucking
I
crybaby.
don't even know how to say Fatebinder.
Who are you, General McClellan? If you train an army, it has to fight.
Yeah, but like, they wanted to fight yesterday. Now they're too tired. They're all tuckered out from all that training.
With the defeat of Apex and inevitability, the armies of Kairos met to discuss how to put an end to the stage of the conquest. Both armies agreed to send an offer of parley. Along with their acceptance, the enemy requested that you appear at the meetings. Well, that's nice. Word of your fair dealings had apparently spread to their ranks. How did you orchestrate the surrender? Through days of mediation, you negotiated the surrender of the Valley of Kairos forces, putting an end to further bloodshed. That sounds good.
That sounds...
Taunting, taunting the Queen of Apex into striking you under a banner of truce, you baited the Queen of Apex into a door and slew her. No.
Just a prank, bro. Yeah, that
No.
doesn't
See,
sound
this
like
is why I
you
would
at
pick
all.
disfavored. This is definitely like, let's just hash it out. I dealt with you fair. My
Look,
men
you
were
just... Look, this is why you don't just side with one of the factions, because they're both
Yeah.
terrible. They're both evil fantasy armies, just the different flavors of them.
Look, I'm willing to treat with you fairly, but the purpose is to get to this table and do this thing. There's no real point of baiting you at this moment. Also, I like how this event is a result of a choice I made in the previous one, because there isn't you had fair dealings with them if I went in with the disfavored and butchered them while they were celebrating his act, you know?
Time for some fair dealings.
Yeah.
That's what I call my war crimes.
Your former enemies were loath to part with their lands, but they were even more reluctant to continue a war they were losing at every turn. The Tearsmen are a stubborn lot, and despite their grim situation, it still took days of discussion and diplomacy to show them the madness of their tenacity. On the third day of mediation, the rulers of Apex finally submit to your terms of surrender. Good, now release Titanfall 3.
No, we will never release Titanfall 3.
I'll put every man, woman, and child to the sword until you release Titanfall 3.
That's a price we're willing to pay, Daniel.
Putting an end to the war in the valley and freeing up Chaos' forces to march deeper into the tiers. Oh, I'm very happy with that outcome. Respected some traditions, didn't lose too many men. Oh, 3 locations? God, that's a lot of choice. The land of Apex finally rested in the hands of Kairos' forces. The Scarlet Chorus paused to revel in victory while the disfavored prepared for the next fight, affording themselves but an evening's rest. Damn, they really are elite. It's like, okay, months-long campaign over, everyone gets one day.
Okay, everyone. Enjoy your day off.
Okay, you've all earned a break.
Commander, a full day. I don't accept that. I'll take 5 hours.
I'm gonna
Lazy
steal a.
asshole.
I'm gonna
I'll
steal
take
a.
1 hour.
I'm gonna steal a Blackadder joke here. Well done, Baldric. You've earned a nice rest. Take the day off. Did you enjoy it? All right, back to work. As much
May
territory as okay, radiated out from the conquered citadel and worked their way across the tiers, the disfavored and Scarlet Course aim to dominate as much territory as possible in the coming year. Your distinguished reputation in Chaos' military left the choice of your next destination yours to make. Stalwart. With its easily defended position and rich military tradition, the realm of Stalwart was the most formidable realm in the tiers. So, big military challenge. Got it. Citadel. Chaos' conquering the gaze fell upon the Vellum Citadel, its treasures, its knowledges, and its secrets. I'd rather take the military challenge so far. Azure. Chaos dispatched the Archon of Stone to subjugate the nation of Azure. You know, honestly, if they said the Mountain Man was handling like a guy's towards a hill, he could do that himself. I'm going to the Stalwart.
I don't know. I feel. But what if he needs like you to clean like his knees or something?
Go to hell.
Okay, go time to stall that wart.
Yeah, literally like a year of conquest, and they took 1 day off. Need a union.
They do have a union.
Oh.
Called
Wait,
the
really?
State- No.
Oh. The realm of Stalwart was best known for its proud army, disciplined, courageous, and undefeated on their home soil. A nice challenge for us. Skill and resolve made Stalwart a military power that Kairos forces approached with due caution. With its southern position, Stalwart had been largely safe from war, watching for 2 years as its neighbors fell to Kairos' forces. On the dawn of the third year of war, Kairos' forces were finally poised to invade the Stalwart Peninsula and subdue the Tyr's most vaunted army. You know, what if it's Kairos and I've been saying it wrong? It's not Kairos.
No, it's Kairos. It's Kairos.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense.
Kairos.
This is the most deadly army to fight. Tragedy struck when hungry Scarlet Corps soldiers appropriated our supply. Okay, that would really piss me off, but let's see what the other option.
Yeah, but they're starving. They need those foods.
If their army failed to logistically supply their own forces, that's their fault. A contentious setback.
But the individual soldiers don't make the choice of if the logistics are good.
Well, we'll see what the options are. A contentious setback, a stinging defeat led to accusations among Kairos' army. After a defeat at the hands of enemy defenders, the Scarlet Corps accused the disfavored of recklessness. The disfavored claimed the Scarlet Corps brought too few soldiers to cover the flanks. Both armies refused to march until you gave a ruling.
So it's basically like, it's not my fault, it's your fault. It's not my fault, it's your fault.
Bickering idiots. Backing proof the Scarlet Corps recruits were negligent. You punish the disfavored commanders for his failure and for bringing charges without evidence. Okay, let's see. I'm probably going to handle the supply one. I don't care about bickering in the army. It's going to happen every time. So, the Stalwart this is a more important problem anyway. The Stalwart defenders burned their crops as they retreated, leaving the invaders little to forage. Starving, the Scarlet Corps mob raided from the disfavored's well-maintained supply line, incurring casualties on both sides. I probably am going to side with the disfavored. You ordered the thieving Scarlet Corps soldiers to be spiked for their affront. By your command, the disfavored shared their provisions. The thieves each lost a hand for their treachery. Okay, that's actually interesting. So this is, I'm still doing...
stealing is good, Lamau.
So this isn't like stealing is good, it's like, you stole, you're getting punished. But if we have to accommodate...
To actually have both armies be supplied.
Again, like I said before, you still need to discipline the army, but, you know, giving them supplies so they don't starve is not really unreasonable. Okay.
But on the other hand, you don't get to spike people in that one.
Again, there's a very good chance... I mentioned it before, there's a very good chance I'm going to redo this thing as Tywin Lannister. So, I'm sure they've spiked in some alternative universe. But
somewhere
for me,
out there,
yeah, let's check.
There's alternate universe Daniel where he's like, finally, I don't care that you stole, but I just like killing people.
I'll have your head on a spike.
Spike them all, spike them all, spike them all.
Scarlet Corps' commanders argued that the Horde was starving. Being the largest of Kairos' armies, they were also the least provisioned. The men were wrong to steal, but the disfavored were equally wrong to withhold supplies from their allies. You agreed with the Corps' version of events and ordered that the disfavored supplies be shared. The thieves themselves would be punished with the loss of a hand and return to the front lines. The disfavored found this a sickening aberration of justice and surrendered their supplies with grudging acceptance. Well,
Why do we have
tough
to work
shit.
together? Fuck you.
Okay, so this is all about disunity with the army, this whole conquest thing, because we're not actually having trouble with the defenders that much.
Oh no, it's basic. No, the conquest goes perfectly fine, basically.
The Beasts of Stalwart, a new Scarlet Chorus tactic, provoked disfavored rage. A string of mass suicides led the Scarlet Chorus making demands of the disfavored. Let's start with the Beasts. Scarlet Chorus mages discovered a spell to turn beastmen slaves against their handlers. Interesting. The army prepared to deploy the tactic elsewhere, but the disfavored protested. The use of unsanctioned magical practices ran contrary to Kairos' law. I would side with the law. And beastmen were considered too erratic to be relied on. Exactly, even as shock troops.
Wait, what do you mean exactly? You don't know anything about beastmen.
I wouldn't trust turning the enemy on their enemies as a consistent tactic. You agree with the disfavored argument and ordered the beastmen slain? Yes. Scarlet Chorus mages who discovered the trick were ordered to never use it again on pain of execution. Approved the new innovation, ruled the technique, and accept to use the wartime magic. Okay, let's see the other one. Rather than submit to Scarlet Chorus conscription, conquered locals began committing suicide. Desperate to add more bodies to the Horde, the Scarlet Chorus demanded a portion of disfavored prisoners. The disfavored denied the right of recruitment as the realm population had taken a steep decline. Okay, so this is like, hey, these people are needed to work fields because this war is going... This is like... Because, you know, before it was saying that
Yeah, but they already burned down all the fields, so what are they working?
They need to repair those fields because fucking Stalwart is scorched earthing this place.
Good. Burn it all down. Spike everyone. Spike them all. Spike
So
them
this
all.
is a question of how do we deal with pacifying resistance and how do we deal with military tactics? I suspect in either case I'm probably going to agree with the disfavored here. You refuse the disfavored request and allow the Scarlet Chorus to continue recruitment. Additionally, you order that disfavored camp slaves be given to the chorus to make up for the losses suffered.
Oh no! The Scarlet Chorus stole our slaves.
You greedy bastard!
I love how all of these options are like this whole thing is just like
they're evil.
ridiculous.
Hey, they're evil. This is the evil problem.
Damn Scarlet Chorus stole our slaves.
What kind of Sith are you?
Which
I would say I'd probably be handling locals because this is a fucked up situation. I am gonna ban the Scarlet Chorus from recruiting.
But that's their whole thing is they recruit
Tough shit.
people. Damn.
I've never showed
Daniel,
favors. I'm not gonna start now.
Damn, Daniel.
You agreed with the disfavored arguments. This conquest was never about ruling a graveyard. The Scarlet Chorus acted contrary to that goal. The voices of Narat and his mobs blamed you for suppressing their ability to conduct wars the way they saw fit. In spite of their protests, you read the proclamation in every conquered village, knowing the enemy spies would hear your verdict. Voices of Narat, Archon of Secrets, equal parts genius and madman, rumors abound that he can steal the minds of others, though few if any are alive to confirm as much. The subjects of his interrogations are never heard from again, and the Archon is able to recall the memories of his victims with startling accuracy. Yeah, both of these armies are really fucked up.
What do you
Although
mean?
I'd probably
He's just-
say Graven Ash is a slightly nicer guy.
Spike them all. Spike them all.
That's better than fucking with their heads and then killing them.
Spike them all. Spike them all.
He is the inconsistent leader of the Scarlet Scarlet Corps, vacillating between commanding from the vanguard and directing his armies in absentia. Despite his strange methods, no one doubts the voices of the rat is an accomplished strategist, even suggesting that his madness stems from thinking hundreds, perhaps thousands of steps ahead of his enemies. It's very possible.
And he's
This-
also made of fire.
Edict of Storms, the disfavored carve a slow, steady path into the heart of Stalwart and surround the enemy massive forces. With the main bulk of their forces defeated, the enemy leadership retreats to their mighty fortress, content to wait out the war. The Overlord answered this impudence with an Edict of Storms on the peninsula, a devastating spell that would endure for as long as the cowardly hearts of Stalwart's leaders persisted in beating. Pleased by your efforts, Tunon deemed you the proper representative to deliver Karos' edict. Aside from being given a 3-day window to read the edict, you received no other instructions. Interesting. So this is like that ancient ass Baratheon lore, which is like, the story of like the ancient Baratheons is that, you know, that castle Storm's End.
Yeah.
It was like, I think like one of like the oldest Baratheons married like the daughter of a storm god who didn't approve, and the storm god kept knocking down his keep, and so he just kept building bigger keeps until they finally found one the storm god couldn't knock down.
Bro, you can't knock this one down, huh?
Which is why the Baratheons are the biggest chads.
But yeah, let's see what your options are.
Give no warning. Agreeing with the wishes of the disfavored, you proclaim the edict at once, leaving the enemy no time to react. Stalwart had ample opportunity to surrender. For several years, the time for mercy was long gone. In an attempt to ingratiate themselves with the people of Stalwart, the Scarlet Chorus insisted the warning be sent to the towns and villages so that people may prepare for the horror about to descend. Yep. Karos' wrath is intended for the cowardly regents of Stalwart, not the unfortunate swept up in the calamity of their leadership. You know, I love it when a game's like text interprets why you're doing it exactly. Like, it's right on the money of like why I'm doing it.
No, I just wanted to warn them so I could slave them all.
A warning in advance of the spell would give locals time to prepare for the devastation to come. You are to content to let punishment fall on the innocent as lightly as Karos' wills allows. Comforted that you might yet spare lives, you broke the seal of Karos' Edict of Storms and read the Overlord's incantations.
Whee! Edict of Storms, yay!
So yeah, Overlord's fucking powerful. The clear skies darkened as you read the final words of the edict. A flurry of wind and rain whipped through the rolling plains and craggy canyons, turning rock, uprooted trees, and hapless soldiers into hazardous shrapnel. Armed with a measure of foresight, you were able to remove yourself from the area before the storms grew more violent. Over time, nearby communities told of cyclones consisting of thousands of soldiers worth of limbs, spears, armors, and skulls. What's more, the weather showed no sign of dissipating. Several units of disfavored who fought the enemy in spite of the advancing storm were caught up in the Overlord's You idiots!
Wow, they're really...
What's wrong with you?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
The few survivors regrouped to nurse their wounds. Their failure to topple the Stalwart Legion shamed them into believing their dead more fortunate. Oh, so this is like our first major loss. We didn't do it. The name Stalwart fell from use. People took to calling it the Blade Grave for the remade landscape festooned with the iron and bronze armaments of two once great legions. As Karos' forces departed, you spared a glance back at the ruins of Stalwart, marveling at your work. You didn't have long to rest before Tunon called you into service once more. It is interesting they do give you an option to skip this, but I really think it's not worth it. Like, this is such a nice part.
I don't know why you would skip this, like, actually.
Like, I kind of want to replay it just to see more options, but we're not gonna, because this is that was great, but I want to do it another time. This is also why I bought the Random Encounters DLC, because I'm just like, hey, more stuff to do.
More stuff. I love stuff. I'm Stuffaniel. Stefania.
The year is 431, and Kairos' invasion has shattered all major opposition in the tiers. The Younger Realms, the Bastard Tier, the Free Cities. All who defied Kairos lay broken by battle, or bowed in surrender. The two armies of the Overlord, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, now control our lands. But our will is not yet extinguished. Not entirely. In the valley of Vendrian's Well, those of us unwilling to bow to Kairos have banded together in defiance. Violating an oath of surrender from 2 years prior, we have staged a bloody uprising, murdering the Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus garrison in a midnight assault. With their main forces spread across the tiers, the Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus redeploy to Vendrian's Well to crush the resistance. But months pass with no definitive battle. As disagreement and discord paralyze the Archons, we bide our time and wait for our message of insurrection to spread across the tiers. The Overlord is not amused. And Kairos has one message for the Archons.
Kairos is not
Crush
amused.
the Oathbreakers or die. Kairos backs this threat with an edict. A magical commandment that can slay all in the valley should the order be ignored. The honor of proclaiming this edict fell to you. Sent across the mountains to Vendrian's Well, you carry the Overlord's
idiots.
edict to read before the Archons.
Hey,
Get your
idiots,
shit
do
together.
Your job. Do your jobs, you fucking idiots.
Do your
What's wrong
jobs,
with you?
or I'm not gonna tell you. He is, and he's not gonna have to tell you twice.
No,
As you
Kairos is a
finally
woman.
make your way
Oh,
through the
she
winding
is.
mountain passes into the valley,
Women can't be evil.
committed
the
those.
ground trembles,
Women
and
can't commit
Kairos'
war
magic
crimes.
seals the way
Idiots.
behind you.
Here we go.
You are trapped in Vendrian's Well, with Kairos' armies and the Oathbreakers. The only way to survive is to fulfill the terms of the Overlord's edict.
She
in
leaves
any
interpretation
way that
up to
you
me,
can.
I see. That's fine. I've done, if I'm nothing if not an interpreter, that's a lot of blood.
Well, I mean, you basically just read them. The edict is pretty much,
Fate's binder Daniel Kadar, I presume. We've been expecting you. Kairos, the Overlord be praised. When I heard the avalanche, I feared the valley was sealed with you on the other side. The disfavored warrior claps her gauntlet to her breastplate. The traditional salute of her legion. Interesting.
Wait, a woman?
Yeah. Gender blind service in the disfavored, at least. Gender blind service among both. Conversations involve you. Yeah, no shit. Character attribute skills, history, and gender. Those decisions you made in the conquest. I'll put on options. Not necessarily superior to the other responses, but give you a wider variety. Important. Do not just make the good option the skill option, because that can lead to bad player navigation. Because I'll just go, well, I'll just pick the blue one.
Oh, this one's blue. I love blue.
Each character who speaks to you will display a banner beneath their portrait, indicating which faction the character is allied with. The tooltip on the banner will provide details about how the faction feels about you. Interesting. You'll often see the names of important characters in gold, glossary. Yep. Interesting. So if I hover over this, Father and Wrath, number the so this favored have no super strong opinions on me yet. When I heard to expect a fate binder, had a bad feeling Tunon would send you. The disfavored warrior clears her throat, forcing a smile to her face.
Bro, you didn't spike all those people. That's pretty cringe of you.
If the Archon of Justice sends a fate binder who favors the way of the Scarlet Course over the sanctity of the Legion, conquest decision, the mountain pass where you currently stand is Edgering Pass, where the Kairos forces first invaded the realm in Apex in the year 429, denying the defenders the advantage of the terrain can Archon of Stone use. Okay, yeah. The Course demanded recruits from the disfavored. As the arbitrating fate binder on the matter, you sided with the Scarlet Course and the youngest disfavored. Yeah, I remember this. Perhaps as a sign of who's to be chosen to rule these worthless tearsmen. Wow, racist too. Charming. I glare silently. I love that. On a personal note, it's good to see another Harbinger. What is that? Barely 10,000 disfavored departed the Northern Empire to conquer the Tears. While Scarlet Course faces come and go, you've seen a lot of the same disfavored over the years. This is Aurora, Stone Shield of the second cohort, veteran of the original Vendrian's Well campaign 2 years prior. You saw battle with her and her team in the infiltration of the Tears that occurred weeks before the major opening battle. Oh yeah, because I was with the advanced scouts, so I've actually fought with the disfavored specifically.
Yeah, so.
So I like that. It's like, I don't agree with your ethics, but hey, you know who to fight with. That's nice. By Chaos' will, most of our old invasion force still lives, but most of us have been scattered across the tiers, reassigned as needs chains. I miss those days, when there was so much battle ahead of us, so much glory still to be won. I know the Archons are expecting you, don't let me wax nostalgically about the old days. I don't think I would start preaching to her, so I'm gonna say, I come bearing an edict of Kairos. Our soldiers will complete their task or die. The edict is leveled against us. Her eyes widen with fear, her posture slackens. But the Scarlet Course prevents us from taking action. Why would the Overlord punish both of... She clears her throat with a sigh. Forgive me. It is not my place to question. We should have conquered the enemy within weeks of arriving in the valley. The delay reflects poorly on all of us. Your first instinct is to blame the Scarlet Chorus. No wonder Kairos resorts to an edict to enforce his order. Yes, well... Her eyes shift to one side. There has indeed been little goodwill between our armies, and you are right. When we act as we do, what choice do we give the Overlord? She takes a deep breath, nodding as she exhales. And you are right. I should not cast blame so freely, especially not when talking to a servant of justice. My apologies.
Justice.
I'm not necessarily a servant of justice, but I'm a servant of... Will you fuckers stop bitching?
No, you are legally a servant of justice. You're a fate binder.
It's true. When you travel a long way... Well, I mean... It's not a really good justice, it's an evil justice.
Yeah, but you're... No, I mean you're judge, jury, and executioner.
I'm the Judge Dredd of this one.
Basically.
I won't keep you further. I'm sure the Archons will want to hit... Did you hear that? More runners, third time this week. The Oathbreakers keep trying to send messages through the mountain to gather help from the outside of the valley. She points over to the collapsed pathway by which you arrived. But they're a bit too late for that now. Come, let's show these Oathbreakers a good fight. See, because I actually negotiated a ceasefire with the Vendrian's War, they're actually Oathbreakers. I like how the literal name of them has changed because there was an actual signed peace.
No. Posted cringe.
Tyranny uses a pausable real-time combat system. Interesting. You will often manage more than one character. It's a good time to pause the game, issue orders, and resume real time to see the orders play out. Okay?
And you have your abilities down there in the bottom left.
Yep. Characters also have special abilities and specials they can use in combat. Characters selected their ability bar displays these hotkeyed abilities. New abilities and spells again, they are automatically added. Good. Abilities and spells can be accessed by selecting the category icon in the selected frame. Talent, spells, combo abilities, artifact abilities, reputation abilities, that's nice. Category items, weapon sets, blah blah blah, good. Left click on the ability icon, press the hotkey. Cursor will change to indicate. The cursor has a red X in the corner, you are not over a valid target. If release the target party members, you can click on the party portraits. Okay, perfect. Defender for 5 primary defenses against attacks: parry, dodge, endurance, roll, and magic. Based on the character's attributes, blah blah blah, equipped items. Accuracy is based on the weapon skill with the type of weapon you're wielding. Accuracy is compared to the appropriate defense from the... Okay, I see. Hits, critical hit, graze, miss. Critical hit increases, graze reduces. Yep. Okay, that's... Well, I don't have control over my Archon friend here, just me, which is good.
No, she's not an Archon.
Sorry,
Archon.
I forget her
His
name.
favorite friend.
Aurora.
Her name is Aurora.
Aurora.
But you've
Okay.
got some abilities, Daniel. What are you gonna use?
Let's get up stab close. Do it.
Sorry, kid.
Sorry, kid.
On it. On it.
Okay, oh, I see the little combat timers
This
up
is
there.
useless. I should try something else.
There we go.
You hobbled them. Just throw your spear through their heart.
There we go. 6 categories of talents available to your character: leadership, defense, power, ability, agility, range, and magic. With each level, you gain 1 point to purchase a talent from any of these. Got it. Talent tree. Each tier of talents unlocks based on how many talent points will be spent within that tree. Learn a talent, select his icon, and then the save button to confirm the choice. Got it. Companions have their own trees, lock in the same manner. Okay. You got anything for me, buddy? You have Whetstone. Potion of protection. Spell creation. Oh shit. Oh, that's a lot more complicated.
There is a. The spell creation system is actually a lot simpler than you would think, but it's very good. I like it. It's interesting. Gives you a lot of options.
Okay. Avalanche has blocked us. Think you can fit through the rubble? I can do more than that. Brute strength will also work. Oh! Hello. Game pause. Auto pause, combat start. Okay.
Shoom.
Will do.
Oh, I can't give him that. Hold on. I can only do it to myself. For other weapons, all warriors will spike. Oh, I whiffed. Oh, after he doesn't auto attack. That's bad. I need to remember that.
This is useless. I should try something else.
85% chance to hit. That's good.
Yes.
Shit. Oh, you don't have
Mere
shit. Oh, Sun Soldier's
I-
Javelin.
Why are you nerds so poor? I believe you
One
can also
channel.
hold tab to view like things you can pick out.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember.
Rogue
I don't
levers.
remember.
3 quality armor. 3 more armor. Slightly worse recovery, better deflection. Ceremonial Fate Binder of Tunon armor. So this is better. But it doesn't look
Well,
very
just
nice, so
Well, just immediately wearing the clothes of the first dead guy you come across.
apparently. Oh good, it auto compares, that's good. Let's see, Bronze Javelin. This has better DPS, worse recovery, better range, better armor penetration. But this is in melee. In ranged, it's still better DPS, it's a quicker recovery, less accurate. I think I'll stick with mine for now. Talk to you. Don't bother with me, go down to the pass. Justice. You're wounded and it's not trivial. He lost through clenched teeth. This, but a scratch. I've seen twice as worse, 10 times. He doubles over in pain, gagging and shivering. If you let me help. I said I'm fine. Graven Ash protects. You go and help the others. Mushroom. Yep. Oh! There's a Scarlet Chorus warrior. Hey, think fast!
Sorry, I can't.
Try and catch me, worm.
A young Scarlet Fury. Interesting, Scarlet Fury. Elite fighters of the Scarlet Chorus, distinguished by their graceful attacks and murderous persistence. Better armed and trained than most Chorus conscripts, the Furies are found among the vanguard of battle. These around the Avenging Guard attackers. A breathless enemy soldier passes but the glance at a countryman. This one's crazy. Too much lead in the water. We should cut our losses and turn back.
Ha! Fate Binder. Here at last. Here to join me in putting these cowards out of their misery.
Yep. For the realm of Apex, charge! Avenging Guard levels their weapons in advance. Yep. Focus. Okay, good. Now we have 2 characters. Oh, interesting. I have a combo block to them. Okay, focus fire, so how about you? Oh!
I see you
Powerful.
there.
Okay, I'm gonna want a hot shot from you. What is this? Okay, fire and bleeding. Good combination. Yeah, no dice.
Phew. I can tell you didn't spend the conquest in a diplomat's tent.
Actually, I did sometimes.
Though you did a fair amount of feasting in the second year of the conquest, as I recall. A few of my mates and I caroused with this apex scum thanks to your good faith gesture. A pity this lot won't be around to remember the good old days. I'm Verse, by the way. But there are more important things to take care of than introductions. Those Vendrian guard we killed didn't come alone.
Why the Vendrian Guard attacking now?
My guess? The Vendrian guard are testing our strength in battle, learning how we perform before they organize a real offensive. That, or they're really, really desperate to get beyond the mountains and couldn't wait until nightfall.
But if you are.
Eager. I like that. Before we go, you might search among the remains of our fallen comrades. Wherever they're bound, I doubt they'll miss their boots, much less any rings or any useful iron they might be clutching.
Should honor your fool and not pillage them.
If they deserved my praise, they'd be standing here taking orders. As it is, they're dead and I'm alive. The beating of my heart is celebration enough. Apparently you haven't spent enough time in the front lines, or you— For the voices of Nerat!
I don't look cool asking for your bitch ass opinion.
Look.
Oh good, it
Sorry.
auto-looted everything around me, isn't that nice?
Wait a second. You just said, hey, you should respect the dead, and then you looted everyone.
No, I looted the enemies.
Wow, bruh. Very honorable.
I don't give a shit about them. Wait, I thought I just picked
Daniel, Mr. Daniel Dead Respecter over here.
up. Fuck you. Eyes forward, no looking back. The Vengeance God Warrior wars with his falx held high, his words largely lost over the din of combat. You! As his attention lands on you, a double take of recognition comes over the man's face. The Peacebinder from the war. If you come to once again talk peace, it seems you're too late. Drop your weapons, and perhaps we can settle this without bloodshed. We knew that violating the surrender meant an end to what little mercy and goodwill Carlos' forces have or ever will show us. Now there's no turning back. He shakes his head with a frown. I know you tried to do right by us in the past, but now you're between us and the way out. Nothing personal.
Kid.
Fate Binder. Did I hear that correctly? Maybe you'll misunderstand why we're here. Scarlet Chorus reinforcements. Hurry! Run down the Oathbreakers, let none escape. From the red mob of reinforcements from the south, a blood charmer emerges at the head of the rabble, ornamental crest over a staff pulsing with crimson tones. Signaling, signing sigils of magic and wordlessly moving a mouth, the blood chanter scribes a series of spells into the air. A red glow surrounds the Vendrian Guard warriors as the chanter's magic worms its way into their minds, blinding them with rage. All position, all of you! You there, keep to the path! The warrior gestures along the canyon trail, but his soldiers turn their attention to the Scarlet Chorus, roaring challenges. No, don't engage them, we need to run! His orders fall on deaf ears. The warrior reluctantly readies his weapon. I'm really sorry I had to come to this, my bro.
Are you, though?
Yeah.
I'm not.
Oh, you have stances, interesting.
I'd do it again.
Okay, kind of. No party here. Let's hobble one of the ones in the back.
Come at.
Companion versus joins your party versus a capable warrior skilled in both melee and range combat As your quiet companions, you need to balance the strengths against the strengths of your character. Yep. 2 characters. Any command you issue now will affect both party members. To select a single party member, click on the selection circle, their portrait, or press F1. Press F2 to select first. Select multi-party members, click and drag. Alright. Enable the AI, have them attack and use abilities automatically. Once AI is enabled, you can always select them and tell them to attack a specific enemy using it. Alright. Right click on the AI button, you can see the AI settings for your party member. You can set the auto attack favor of each character. AI packages. Several stances. Model abilities. Yeah, let's work on your AI. So, Blade Dancer or Archer. I'm already kind of a ranged melee mix, so I'm gonna have a nice close aggressive. Defending party seems good. And you're gonna use... So less dodge, bonus damage to your next attack, equal to 50% the damage received from attackers. Or more accuracy. I'm gonna stay with that. You're hobbled. Let's knock over.
Await my signal.
Blast. Didn't work. And I'm taking heavy damage. Let's get over this way.
I'm not dead yet.
Right.
There we go. Captain's down. You've just been gnomed. Crescent runner. Come quick, we have a situation on the cliffside. They have the commander. Well, be that as it may, I got a loot. So,
bro, commander can wait. You know.
excuse me. I have to go.
But the commander is gonna die. I don't care.
Oh, I just looted a Scarlet Cause person. Oh well, did that by accident. It's not the same.
Daniel, you're a hypocrite. Daniel.
I didn't mean to do that.
I didn't mean to be a hypocrite. It just sort of happened like that.
You know?
You know, it just sort of happened. I was just like, stealing things from buddies is wrong, and then I stole a bunch of stuff from some buddies. And I was like, it's wrong when other people do it. But when I do it, it's based.
Who are you, Cosmo? What are you doing? You'll draw attention to me. What am I doing? What the fuck are you doing? Please attend to the battle at hand. Fine.
I got it.
I got it.
I get it.
Stow your weapons or we'll find how long a man screams before hitting the ravine down below. Cornered between a precipitous drop and a band of angry soldiers, the Oathbreaker warrior holds a disfavored officer at knife point. Skewer him! Worry not for me. Graven Ash will protect. The disfavored officer winces, blood seeping from the seams of his braces and curious. You heard the man. He plainly invited you to use that little blade of yours. What are you waiting for? Permission from your pimp? This blade? With a jerk of the knife, he slices off a clump of Justice's matted hair. If you're so eager to see your ally dead, just step closer.
Okay.
So I can actually just jump at him and grab his knife because I'm so strong.
Yeah, but why don't you just...
But I can also try and invoke my previous diplomacy, which I think is what I'm going to try and do.
You can be like,
I
cool,
do-
Daniel.
If he was literally about to do it, I would dive for it, but I am... In my head, diving for it, even if I could do it, is like, well, it risks him, so I'm
It's
going
a
to try...
last resort.
It's a last resort, exactly.
Dangerous.
I'm Daniel Kadar. My name should be known to you, and it should be an honorable one. Please, give me the knife. You? You're Tunon's envoy? He watches you closely for a moment until his posture slackens and he lowers the knife. If you will vouch for my safety, then I'll... His sentence is halted by a spear thrust into his lung. Leaping forward the moment Tyrell lowers his blade, the disfavored soldier slaughter the oath.
Wow, you guys are dicks.
Dazed but alive, Jastus lets out a long sigh and struggles his feet. I offered that man mercy and you made a liar of me. These Mongols require a firm hand. They can't be trusted and my honor is as dear to me as your sword is to you. Do not forget that a second time. I like how I get favor because it's like, okay, yeah, your commander, right. Yeah, if you act out of turn again, I'll push you off this goddamn cliff.
We'll fucking push all of you off the cliff. It'll be one big old fucking... You'll be... Damn, that's a lot of blood.
There's a shit ton of blood, Jesus. Kairos be praised! That Oathbreaker fought with the rage of Cain himself. Drastus slides his trembling hand across the carver's neck. Thank you, Fatebinder. I thought today was my last. From the look of it, guess they thought if they swore in the past, maybe one might make it out? We found a few scraps of parchment on the bodies. Drastus holds out a handful of crumpled parchment for your inspection. A student of letters such as yourself should be able to make sense of this. I'll examine it. Repeating the same message in different written scripts, the parchment explains the Edgering Guard's desire to overthrow Kairos' archons and rout their armies from the tiers. The pages aren't addressed to any specific reader, but rather openly invites all who remain loyal to the younger realms to gather at Vengeance War. Recruitment material. They're trying to bring more traitors into our fight. Well, from the look of that, we kept them from slipping out the valley. Whatever they hope to accomplish, I think their plan died here. The Archons are expecting you. When you're ready, leave by the gate to the southeast and follow the trails downslope for a few hours. You'll see the camp fires leagues away. Can't miss it. That man, I offered him safety, and these buffoons...
These fucking losers were like,
No,
It's cringe.
I hate safe.
but he was an oath breaker. Yeah, but I offered him safety. You can't just kill people you offer.
Him safety. You
I was like, if you surrender, you'll get to live. And then you were like, haha, stab, stab, stab. He lied, and I was like, no, I didn't. You're just a dumbass.
Slightly slower recovery. Worse range, better armor penetration, better DPS, better recovery. Slightly worse accuracy. And pretty accurate as things go, so...
No, you're not. You're Daniel.
Oh, wait. No. Actually, no, I will keep that. Party stash. Okay, this is just straight up better. And unfortunately, this is also better. I've already ruined my look. Oh well.
Is practicality worth looking like shit, Daniel?
That's a good point. Fuck that all. Let's see. There's some couple more blades in here. Okay, that's a two-hander, so that can go in. This looks good for me. Sun Soldier's Javelin. Worse accuracy, slightly worse DPS, better armor penetration, much better in melee. Yeah, I will take that actually.
Mikey, what are you woofing about?
Quick finger bangles.
Oh, you're sleeping. You're sleepwalking.
Quickness. More quickness. Why not? Okie dokie. What's this? Oh yes, that's my edict, of course. That's me. Right. Glory to the north.
Will do.
Fatebinder. Of all the salutes as you approach, we are honored by your presence. Need something? What's the situation here? Oathbreakers hold the citadel at the heart of the valley. Matani River has been our largest headache during the siege. It's unsafe for armor troops to ford, save for at any key locations. The enemy knows this as well as we do.
Okay, I'm back.
I know we'd be a lot farther along if the Scarlet Chorus uses alleged strength in numbers to ford the river themselves and overwhelm the enemy. Aurora looks averse with a disapproving air. As it is, we must take the valley slowly in advance of this favoured bulwark, since this is where the real work gets done. Because all it takes is numbers to cross the river under a hail of arrows. If the disfavoured were quicker to act, maybe the Edgering Guard wouldn't be so trained up to face to us. would be so trained up to face us. First has a point. There's been a lack of cooperation here. On both sides, I assure you, and we get nowhere by bickering over the failings of past battles. How long have you been with the Disfavored? 7 years. 2 seasons, handful of days. I trained at Fort Resolution a bit before the conquest. Compared to the commanders you find around Campo Station at Ironhearth, that makes me one of the young bloods. Long and grueling campaign, but the end is in sight. Oathbreaker is back under control, rest, retrain, and even cycle out troops so we can see our families again. What do you think of the Avenging Guard? Lost gasp with the younger realms. Among them are warriors that escaped the bastard city siege. Interesting. A few refugees from other victories and a bunch of Vendrian locals with illusions of independence. Anything interesting during the war? Once saw a forge-bound artisan set himself on fire. Occupational hazard. Unpleasant day. First of many, to be honest. Have a pleasant siege, Fatebinder. That's an interesting phrase. Have a pleasant siege.
Well, yeah, it'll be a nice siege.
Fatebinder, a pleasure to have you join us. You never really know if one of Tunon's officers is battle ready until the fighting breaks out. You can clearly hold your own in a fight. A broad-shouldered, disfavored soldier snaps the salute. And thank Kairos for that. There's been too much talk of late and not enough action. The Archon of War is planning his next move. Would you have him hasten his plans through your impatience? The superior officer glowers through the gap in her helmet. Never, ma'am. Grave Ash protects. She holds a salute with a tightly clenched fist. I'm just eager to see the Venturing Guard buried under their own patched defenses. Why hasn't the siege been resolved? Because the Scarlet Corps scoff at the Great General's plans and they aren't carrying their weight. They should be using their great numbers to patrol and harass the enemy. If you ask me, I think they're intentionally going easy on the Oathbreakers. Even if they listen to us, are they even capable of following orders? The Scarlet Corps doesn't have a chain of command, just a rabble of gang bosses cutting each other's throats for advancement. Pissing on the Disfavored is like a badge of honor, if you don't mind me saying so. What do you think about the Disfavored King Campton? Proud elite of Kairos? Okay.
I think they're cringe.
What have you survived? In my early days, I broke from my phalanx and ran at an enemy. Received a spear in my guts for my effort. It took the better part of an afternoon for the Archon protection to patch me up. Learned a valuable lesson too. When I was at Azure, I caught a hammer blow to the side of the head. All I remember was a ringing sound and feeling my skull shatter from jawline to ear to top. I woke up hours later. Medic says there's a piece of helmet lodged in my brain. My badge. I'm a reminder. We owe it all to the Great General. He gives us the strength to fight while others would flee and stand while others would fall. What a pile of dung. I'm right about one thing. The Disfavored have taken too many blows to the head. You don't believe in Ash's protection? I believe in it, alright, but I don't buy that he's doing anyone a favor. In war, death is a lesson. Survival is its own reward. If Ash protects his soldiers, the weakest of them occupy a space in the phalanx that could be better put to use. Graven Ash gives the soldiers the chance to improve, which is more than the voices of the rat allows. Off to an early start adjudicating the problems between our camps, are we? The voices of the rat doesn't give his soldiers anything but a purpose. He barely even feeds us. We take everything we want, including our advancement. Yeah, that's why you suck. What are you doing to this, Commander? Prisoner's name says his... should I do voices? I'll give Drastus a voice. Let's see how this goes. The prisoner says his name's Tarkus Demos. Drastus lets out alongside.
Can't even tell the difference between this and your normal voice, Daniel.
Oh, fuck me.
There we go.
That's what you want, eh, laddie?
Put some more Scott into it.
Drastus lets out alongside, tapping his gauntlet finger to his temple. Then I don't think this is a complicated matter. He dies. His family's been a driving force in the Avenging Guard. Killing him should demoralize whatever's left of the Tarkus clan. But we must offer the enemy redemption. The mage turns to you with a knowing smile. When we first conquered this pass and your fool Archon Cairn killed half our scouts, the Fatebinder here knew the wisdom in letting the chorus replenish their numbers, even if it meant acquiring some undesirable talent. We let you take prisoners, but you can't control them. You send these conscripts out on patrol and they never return. They're fetching all over again. I can't let this nonsense strategy continue. Well, I insist this Oathbreaker be taken to the voices of the rats, leaving us at an impasse. Fortunately, we have a Fatebinder here to settle the matter for us. So, what say you? What should become of this prisoner? Hmm. He did get a chance to surrender. It's true.
Yeah, but more soldiers. So.
But more soldiers. The Corps should
And
be
actually,
allowed a chance to recruit new warriors. This is the sort of nonsense that got us into the mess we're in here now. If we keep showing these Mongols mercy, they'll just bite us time and time again.
we need to kill them all, spike them all,
If it will
spike them
calm your
all.
nerves, I assure you this one won't be put on the battlefield. The mate snaps her fingers loudly, gesturing for a gang to listen. Make sure this prisoner is taken straight to the voices of Narat. I won't keep you any longer, Fatebinder. I know you have important business in the valley.
Oh, hey, there's something that I think you'll find really funny that I'm gonna tell you after you talk with the Archon. So,
Yeah? Okay.
because it's a spoiler.
Okay,
if
you won't
do
tell
it-
me
If
yet.
I tell you
Okay.
before then.
I
It's
take
not
it
really
you're
a
the-
spoiler, but you'll understand when you're doing it.
Okay,
Why
okay.
I waited.
I take it you're the gopher everyone's talking about. Are you getting the lay of the ruins or just avoiding the Archons? We picked this area clean months ago. All that's left are some old bones and that prize off in the distance. She nods at the towering spire above the citadel. What do you want? Is that how you speak to a superior officer? It's how I speak to you. Only just arrived in camp and you think you know more about breaking seas than the rest of us? Grab her by the collar. Now you listen to me! What? What are you doing? Catching something in your expression, the soldier's eyes widen. I didn't mean anything by it. I was just plotting to see if you'd balk. You'll just mean a civil tongue, starting now. Of course, that is of course Fatebinder. I'm glad you have a capacity to see reason. Back to my questions. She rubs the back of her neck. What did you want to know? I love that. What do you know about the spire? And now to tell its time by its shadow, and that it hurts my neck if I stare up at it for too long. Really, it's no different from the spires in the north. Big, ugly, and inaccessible. Strange the Vendrian people built their citadel around it, but there's no accounting for taste. What do you know of the ruins? This place used to be an actual fort when Cairn came through. Archon of Stone pulled down most of the masonry with him. Not sure if it was intentional, but he left that old statue in one piece. It's carved in the likeness of old Queen Lyceris. Strangest thing, the statue started crying blood around the time of the war. I like to think we clobbered the Vendrian guard so badly that the ancestors could feel it. We seeing you, Fatebinder. The side of her mouth jerks in a grin. Fatebinder, what an honor to have one of... Fatebinder, what an honor to have one of Tunon's court visit our humble holdfast. This is good practice for DMing.
Yeah. So, get practice with your Ah, fuck!
With your voice!
Get practice with your voice.
Need
so
supplies?
That you can do...
Bursting with energy, the merchant slams a palm down on top of the crate. If so, you've come to the right place. They're all getting a bit Irishy. I think medieval instinctively activates my Anglo voice selection.
Oh, okay,
How's
do a
trade?
different one. Do something not Anglo.
Well, this is a serving post. No profit up here in the past. No, she's a woman. How do I do a woman's voice?
Just raise the pitch slightly.
post. No.
Just raise the pitch of your voice slightly while you're talking.
Well, this is a service posting. No profit up here in the past. That's Hakshian's Bronze's orders. But when we march out of the valley, I'm back on my own schedule. And here's to hoping this year's a good one. The Overlord forbids the extortion of the pathways. Good thing too, because in years past I'd lose most of my profit to tolls. Couldn't turn a copper if I tried to haul long distance. I trust you've been granted proper stewardship of the goods you're peddling. Why do you see Fatebinder? Merchant cranes her head to the side, scratching her neck. I think so. I've been handed these bits of scripts. She reaches across a sack of provisions. But I'm not a woman of letters. Numbers are my strength, as you can well imagine. I'm sure it's all in order. Well, naturally, she winks. Just because we fight dirty doesn't mean we trade dirty. Well, most of the time. So what you have. Oh, you do have a lot of weapons. Good. Camping supplies. Mostly armor. Pretty much the exact same shield. Don't care for any of these things. How about you, Mockingblaze? We sing the anthem of pain. Well, good for you. You have my fate, thank. You have my fate, Thankbinder. You have my thanks, Fatebinder. I must attend to the rest of me soldiers. Horde, Crescent Runner. I like how they all have names. Or
Yeah.
nicknames. It's cool. The disfavored soldier salutes you with it. Oh, he didn't say that. That's fine. Yeah. Horde. Want to join me by the fire? No? So what if the voices of Narat is a madman? Just stay on his good side. Just stay on his good
Yes.
side. It's fucking easy.
Sorry, can't.
Sorry, can't. There you go. How's that for you? Right. Supposed to head to talk up to the Archons. Creation. Don't have any closer to Got it. Spells look like they'll be fun. They'll be lots of fun. Anyway, let's press on ahead. And what's this?
Can't do that.
There's something back here. Hold on. Wait, how are you gonna get there? I thought you were gonna go through the crevice. Oh, I see. I think. Where are you going? Where are you going? Oh, this gate. Oh, I see that. It's like their role. Like, so a horde is like an average warrior, and a stone shield is an average disfavored warrior. In Scarlet Course.
Yes.
Okay, I see. Good to know. Walls begun to crumble, creating handholds suitable for climbing. I can do that. Ah, subterfuge needed. Do you have it?
No dice.
Oh well. Well, it wasn't exactly worth to climb up here. If I can't unlock that. And I don't think there's going to be any boosts in my favor for it either. Let's see. Well, scale back down. A pity.
Sorry, can't.
You have to walk all the way around. It's a shame. I suspect it's most likely that Verse probably does actually have a... Yeah, they do actually have a pretty decent athletic skill, so... In all likelihood, it was probably just that I was supposed to have subterfuge and she was going to have the athletics required. God, I'm going to need some water if I'm going to keep doing this with all the voices I'm doing. But it's actually quite fun. I'm going to flesh out my voices a little bit in this game, I suspect.
Oh yeah, no, I have a great, totally 100% great idea. Every time you do a Voices of Narat line, do a different voice for every different line.
Curious.
What's this?
Because he's voices is
Potion
multiple
of
them.
invisibility, huh? I mean, that's probably going to come more handy to Verse, so here you go. Did I just put salt and Verses in? Oh, whatever.
Well, normally the salt's in your inventory, Daniel.
The once pure water of Queen Lycerus' tears is one red with blood. Okay, so this is new. Sad. Where am I supposed to be going? Oh, yes, I can just go outside the camp. That makes sense. There's a fast travel point out here.